Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the RNG Network. This is a podcast where us people get together and we talk about randomness, and everything that is randomly talked about is also random, except for today. But we'll get to that later. For right now, we'll introduce everybody. We have Fluffy.
Hello.
We have Frontal.
What?
And he's gone. That's fine. We have Silent.
I didn't hear you say anything there.
Yeah, I didn't hear you say
Oh.
anything either.
You guys didn't hear that?
No.
Oh no, I definitely said we have Frontal, and then it was just Silent.
Oh, that is
Awesome.
We have Fluffy. Hi.
Cool. Anyway, Frontal's here.
I am here. Hello, how are you? Hi, how are you?
Hello. Silent
Yeah, yeet.
and Trail.
Hello.
You got everybody hears me now, right? We're good.
Yes.
Yeah, we,
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Just-
yes. 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 Yes.
My man.
the fitness
All
gram
right.
racer.
Stop it. Stop it. How's everybody doing today? We'll start. Let me start off with names. Frontal, how are you doing today?
I'm all right. I've got work shortly, so I'm trying to. It's kind of like just getting prepped, sort of get myself hyped up for a day, and it's pretty shit, really. It's working weekend, but yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Nothing new to report this week in general. It's been a pretty dull week in general for me, which in my life is a good thing, I'll be honest. So that's good for me.
Awesome. I'm glad you're living the dream. Fluffy, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Just chillaxing today. We had a pretty busy day yesterday down in Boston. So
Are you also
Boston.
living the dream?
mine's more of a comedic nightmare
Hell yeah.
At least it's comedic.
at my expense.
Well, maybe not so good.
I know, it's hilarious.
But you like to make people laugh, so it's a balance.
That's true. Trail, how are you?
I'm all right. Been crazy busy with work. Our company, we've been working for the last several months. We're changing our entire computer system, our ERP system, to something new. And tomorrow is the day that we go live with it. And so this entire weekend we've had to work with finance and other people and files that we've gotten ready to import all of our current information into the new system. Actually, I have a meeting later today and had several yesterday and was working until 3 o'clock in the morning Friday night. So it's been a long weekend.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is ERP?
It's
It means something different to me, I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
Yeah, that's right. It's just basically it's essentially the computer system that the company uses for its day-to-day operations and monitoring when work is done, when projects are done, quotations, financial stuff like invoices, bills, everything from finance to assembly projects and things like that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not electronic roleplay.
It's what?
God.
Electronic
it's not
roleplay.
electronic roleplay.
No.
That's what ERP stands for on the internet.
I mean, it could
I
stand
thought it
for
was
whatever.
erotic.
Whatever word you could throw in for ERP.
It is. It's meant to be erotic roleplay.
Oh.
On 5M and whatnot.
Oh, well, we can
So
tell
it's
who the
like-
fucking shut-in is here, huh?
Oh my.
Fuck me, I guess.
Oh,
Everyone
my
knows
God.
I'm the degenerate in chief. Everyone knows this.
Degenerate.
terms
Degenerate
of
in
that.
chief.
Degenerate in chief. That's me.
All right.
The DAC.
Well, now everybody knows.
Dak.
Silent. How about you, buddy? How are you doing?
Doing pretty solid. As I told Goose, I got finals coming up this next week, so it's been a pain trying to get ready for that shit. But I'm ready for my first semester to be done.
School is cool.
And then I also found out this
School
past
is
week
cool.
that the class that I'm doing worst in is probably the most important to my major.
Oh, sick.
Nice.
Yeah,
Is
so
it
that's
math?
that's nice
And-
knowing. No, it's not math. I've always been good at math.
So, when you say worst, what are you doing?
Easily probably averaging a D in that class.
Oh
Hell yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's macroeconomics.
Macro or micro?
Macro.
That sounds like hell.
It has been a pain, but I also got told that I'm typically supposed to take micro first, but there's only so many slots per class, so I'm taking
Mhm.
micro next semester. So hopefully micro will make a
Micro.
little bit more sense than macro.
You're gonna take micro,
Yeah.
and then macro is just gonna make sense.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm
Big
hoping that's how it's gonna be. Say it again.
Is there a maximum economics?
No.
Okay.
No, we don't. I mean, I guess technically macro is the maximum.
All right. Well, if you fail that, at least you have another future to look forward to, right?
Oh yeah.
It was supposed to be like I tried to make a segue, but it didn't work out very well. Anyway, do you want to know what the topic is?
I could feel the want there for the segue.
Yeah, it was. I tried to plan it out, and I just couldn't quite get it right. But anyway,
through.
yeah, esports, the future of it, or the current, the current culture of whatever esports is. Trail and Silent both have their hands on it. Pretty more Silent than Trail, I think. No offense, buddy. Yeah, you're on an esports team for school, right?
Yeah, actually, we went 6-1 for our season. Unfortunately, lost in divisional finals, but yeah, we definitely went there. Or did the esports, and then next semester our coach is putting us in for CRL qualifiers.
Yeah.
So the quote unquote pro league of college carball.
Just assume for a second that I know what you mean, but no one else obviously does. Like, so in case someone else doesn't, like, what's a CRL qualifier?
It's the college pro league for Rocket League, essentially.
So CRL, does that just stand for College Rocket League? Okay. That's what we were asking, I think. Okay. I don't know anything about esports. I don't know how this stuff works, what kind of games go into it. I've never looked into it.
There's so many. There's so many
Can't
games.
say you know nothing. You know some about it. Like, you know that there's like professional League of Legends. There's
Log of Legions.
You know that there's logs.
Logs.
I was actually on an esports team for a little bit.
Is there a professional Lincoln Logs? And actually, yes, there is professional loggers.
Okay.
Sorry, what was that, Fluffy?
I said I was on an esports team for a little bit.
You were?
Which game?
Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh,
I've never played that.
No.
I have. I
fun.
did like the ESL
It
stuff.
was fun. It was fun, but like every game that you play, you get the people that are just like super fucking good at it.
Out of their mind. Yeah.
They spend 25 hours a day playing it. I don't know how they do 25 hours. It's something to do with like how much fucking energy drinks they drink and all that shit. And I don't know.
Go into a black hole where time.
It's the energy drink to Dorito dust combination that just throws them back in time an hour.
Dorito.
They gotta maximize that. I don't know, man.
They change the chips to change how far back in time they go.
Does anyone else in here played Rainbow Six other than myself and Fluffy?
No.
I have barely ever.
It's one of those. The people I know generally that play it tend to be arseholes, so I tend to avoid it to not play with them.
Well, you met me, and I'm an
honestly
asshole.
makes sense.
Shots fired.
And I said that before I even knew the Fluffy we played it. Now it makes more sense.
Now
So, Fluffy, what rank did you get to then?
I was diamond.
Oh my god, this guy. Fucking sweat lord.
Sweat.
I didn't do that
sweat.
much. I played Capcan a lot, really. I just set traps and watched people die.
Oh.
Comes a classic Fluffy.
That's about it.
I
really high and good, but I wasn't that good. I was just not that good.
I wasn't that good. I was just the best rank in the game.
Yeah, you grind
Diamond
enough
the best
and you
rank?
play it daily with your buddies. You're gonna grow in rank. I don't know, man. Fuck.
Yeah,
I did a few tournaments in Counter Strike back probably about 20 years ago when I was at university. We used to have a lot of tournaments for Counter Strike back in those days. I went to a gaming university, and so there was lots of tournaments either amongst the student population or between the local universities that were also on the gaming, like video games design schemes, etc. and we used to play a lot of Counter Strike. Then was going back then. Counter Strike was the game for esports in like the UK, etc. At that point, because no one else was doing competitive, really.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, I don't want to like be that person, but that's quite some time ago. Was there like an esports scene back then, like there is now, or was it way smaller?
It was way smaller. It used to tend to be more like the only place that had a big, like a really big esports push back then was like Korea and StarCraft, which was crazy. But the things that we used to look back and say that was like a crazy investment of money then is chump change to what they're putting into it now.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Huh.
Like back then, it was like they had houses that it was full of the games team in Korea and stuff, and it was like, whoa, that's crazy! How much money they put into it, and this, that, and the other. And it's like, nowadays, that's like expected. Like,
Yeah. So, I guess it's kind of mind blowing to see how much this, how do I say it? This culture has exploded into like the fame that it is now. Because if you look at like videos or clips or whatever of say the Overwatch World Finals or whatever, that's like a full-blown freaking stadium. That's not just a room with a bunch of kids who hope to get on some like super big leaderboard or something. It's like people pay big bucks to go to these little tournaments.
Yeah,
It's
that
crazy.
was how the last Worlds was for Rocket League. It was freaking crazy. They had a giant
I think it was like
stadium
5,000 to 6,000
full.
people.
It
Yeah,
was-
in San
it was,
Diego.
No, it was more. It was like 12 to 13. Oh, for the most
Damn.
recent one. I'm
Yeah.
talking about the last Worlds. That they
Oh,
had.
Worlds in
That
Texas.
were down in Texas. Yeah, it was like a stadium of 13,000 people, and the stream it was like we're usually averaging around like 250,000.
Yeah, dude,
Oh,
I honestly wanted to
ridiculous.
go so bad, but I was in the process of still trying to get out of the military.
But yeah,
That's
yeah,
insane.
I'm there with you. The size of these crowds that are starting to like happen for games is
and the prize pots have gone up a lot as well. I mean, like I used to know a competitive Guild Wars guy, and they won like 20K in the European finals. Now that's like what you would get from like just a normal tournament sort of thing. Like a prize pot would be 10-20K. That was like the European finals was like a 50K prize pot. Now it's like some of them are like in the millions.
Oh yeah,
Ridiculous.
yeah, definitely.
Well, I only know more about the Rocket League stuff, but like for the last Worlds, I think adding it all up, it was like roughly 1.5 million. Like just the teams that showed up and lost like day one, I think they still had close to 20,000 or something like that. Like just for showing up and losing
Easily,
their
I think
first
it was
game.
probably like 40.
Yeah,
Oh wait, for
it's
like
crazy.
first rounded, yeah, I think it was still about like 15 to 20 around there.
Yeah,
You got to think if that's what they're paying out, they're not going to pay out more than they're getting in,
right, exactly.
or so they must be making the money nowadays.
Yeah. There's no way.
Because
easily.
what the crowds are is one thing, but then you also have to there's a big expansion in like e-tickets to watch things online, etc. And I mean, take Twitch for example. You have like Valorant has its own esports channel, like reviewing competitive teams, even as they're doing casual matches. You have the Valorant channel watching them and commenting and commentating.
Right.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like that's almost all of like Pro League stuff now. Like they have a Twitch channel, so they're adding that revenue from that, putting it to like prize pot and stuff too. So
Yeah, that was why I specifically said for the World Rocket League, it was like just the main channel, like the RLCS channel was averaging around 250,000, but then you have a whole bunch of content creators and pros that would stream them watching it, and like people would just sit and watch them, and those like got up into the thousands of just people watching them talk about it. Like it's just that world size was way larger than I thought it was going to be.
Which, yeah, it's just crazy to see like how big it's gotten now. So, do you guys want to hear like a brief history on the whole esports thing as a whole?
Sure.
Yeah,
Why would
sure,
I
go
not?
for it.
So
why would I not?
So,
regale us with the tale of history.
But what should I wear?
nothing. Wear nothing. Whatever they would wear back in 1972 at Stanford
Yeah,
University.
you're right.
Because No, so the earliest known video game competition took place at Stanford University. Apparently, there was like an old arcade game called Space War. I think it was an arcade game. Just thinking back then, what would you imagine that the grand prize would be for whoever won? Take a
75
guess.
cents.
75
Oh no, it's more than that.
$500.
10 cheeseburgers.
A
$500.
year's subscription to a magazine.
Yep, it's exactly what it was. The grand prize for winning.
Oh, I was right.
Yeah, the grand prize for winning that tournament back in 1972 at Stanford University was a 1-year subscription for the Rolling Stone magazine.
What the fuck?
Well, I wouldn't have guessed the magazine, but I got it right, man.
All people
Frontal out
to
here
guess
trying
right
to
on
troll
that. Why'd it
and
have
just
to be
guesses
frontal?
But
it.
it
Why'd it
had
have
to
to be
have been
frontal that
Frontal.
somehow guessed
Yeah.
it right?
It had to be. He was probably
I would
alive
never
at
have
that
guessed the
time.
Rolling Stone magazine, though.
He was around then. It's fine.
My grandfather actually worked at that college and helped run it.
That's never gonna get old. Yeah, apparently the winner of that was Bruce Baumgart, winning the 5-man free-for-all tournament. Tovar and Robert E. Moss? I don't know. Winning the team competition. Either way. I don't even know what Space War is, so. A game called Space War. Yeah. I had
Space
no idea
War.
what it is.
I don't even know what game that is. Yeah.
It was the Walmart
But
version
yeah.
of Star Wars.
Is that what it was?
No.
I mean, I assume that's like the player versus player sort of match, because I believe Pac-Man had a very competitive scene before that as well, where people competing to see how far you get the record, and they had it on stages and things like that.
Yeah. They did that with Donkey Kong as well, like OG Donkey
Dude, there
Kong.
is, if you like really look, there is like competitive scenes for a lot of stuff. I can't remember who I was with. I think it was one of my brothers, and we were perusing some random like a professional streamings, and there was one where it was ping pong, but like an actual ping pong machine. And I don't know how they had it set up, but it was like there was not like a set like who played next. The camera, they just had one camera that was like facing from up where the points were at the person, and then one camera facing where like the actual, like the ball on the machine was. And it was just a group of dudes standing around with like their arms crossed, watching one person play, and the people commentating would just like commentate on whoever was going, which I'm assuming is like normals. But like when they lost, just like one of the people from the group just standing behind them would go up and start. But it was like there was like graphics and casters and camera changes and different people, and I was like, this is just like literal ping pong. Or I'm sorry, not ping pong. Wow.
Pinball?
Train noise. Pinball. Train noise, goose. Train noise.
No.
Wow.
I was sitting here imagining
I'm
ping
thinking
pong the
that
whole
there's
time,
like a-
trying to figure out what you're talking about.
I'm sitting here thinking that there's like a machine throwing ping pong balls at people, and there's like,
Wow.
Same.
Oh my gosh.
oh, he missed. Oh man, there goes Davis down after 5 serves. Oh,
All right,
boy.
next one in there. Get in there. Start it up.
Next one up is Frank, or he's actually a math teacher down at South Central.
South Central.
Uh,
You get what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
pinball.
Yeah, it's just
we
crazy.
can probably see the clearer picture now.
Yeah, it was a clear picture.
I don't know if pinball's any better. Just sitting there. Oh, there he goes. Tap the buttons. Will he tilt? He's gonna. Oh, he tilted. Oh God, no.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this like Goose. I'm gonna have a pause, and I'm gonna say pinball, and then take that pinball and go put it over
No.
where I said ping pong.
no. Nope.
Deal with
I'm
your
leaving all this in.
consequences, sir.
No,
Your
no.
fault. Your fault for not having a full cup of coffee before this.
All right, back to topic.
Alternatively, you can always put it. So this is like, I saw this game and they were playing ping pong.
Just throw it all out of
No,
context.
you gotta have somebody else say
Ping pong.
and then put it in there for him.
Oh, I'll do it. I'll edit it in my voice.
Yes,
Peanut
please.
butter.
Anyhow, but yeah, I believe the topic is like, what do we think is like the future going to be for like esports? Is it going to get bigger? Is the bubble going to pop? Is it
I think
how much I mean, obviously, it's never going to be as big as like the big sporting events like like the Super Bowl, like the World Cup for football, etc. I don't think it's ever going to get that big.
I think.
I mean, pretty close.
How much more appeal to the mass market?
I think it's gonna actually eventually will make it to like a sports center, or like it's gonna be on a channel. I don't know if you guys, Silent, you might have seen that.
It actually
was
has.
like 2 or 3 years ago on Sports Center, they had like a clips of the week, and one of them was a clip from Rocket League. And apparently there was like a bunch of people that sent in like, that's not a fucking sport, that's a game. And then a bunch of people were like, it is a game because it's competitive.
It is
It's
a game.
Or like, it is a sport. God damn, I'm done.
It is a game. So I've actually seen like they had esports like on TV before, like as a channel. So it has like hit TV already. Probably not like as big or as consistent, obviously, as like the actual Sports Center and like these more physical sports. Me personally, I definitely see it or like eventually getting up there because like Charles was talking about just with Rocket League Worlds getting up to like 250,000 people. Like that's a big
That's a
number
lot.
for people watching
Even League is
a video game.
League is pretty high up there.
Yeah, I was going to say League is probably one of the
Oh,
other
yeah.
ones that gets huge viewership.
League is
Oh,
absolutely
yeah.
disgustingly huge. It's
Like,
crazy.
eventually, a channel corporation is going to see those numbers and be like, huh. I mean,
We gotta get in on
that's a
that.
lot of people.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of money.
I know in the UK, like historically, we had a couple of TV shows that tried to jump on the bandwagon and have like a TV show that was centered around like competitive gaming, and they all kind of washed out eventually because there just wasn't the sort of retained viewership to keep them going.
Yeah.
But that was going back again about 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But we even had in the UK, we even had like a channel specific on like Sky TV specifically for gaming, and it just didn't hold the viewership to keep it sustained on that thing. But do you reckon that the world is changing? And now, like, I mean, I think respectively, I think COVID did a lot for pushing esports because real sports couldn't happen for a few years,
For
so people like tried out something new.
I
Yep.
definitely agree with that.
I think
honestly,
that may have had a part in changing the table, sort of thing.
like I
easy.
think it's gonna blow up so much that if I had a ridiculous amount of money, I think it would be worth actually starting up and like being one of the first ones to basically remake a G4 TV back in its prime years ago, not the most recent time that it tried to come up, and then it completely fell on its face for doing dumb stuff, and now it's basically dead again. But like right now would be the time to start like a good version. Back when G4 TV had its prime, it was holding viewers and making good content and everything. Right now would be the time to start it and slowly grow it. And like as esports is in that, like I think it's kind of close to the beginning of a exponential uptick. Like it's gonna start growing more and more. Because you got a whole bunch more kids that are getting into it. And because the kids are getting into it, the parents are getting into it. Like, obviously, I keep trying to go back to it, but it's good examples for everything else. Like during the Worlds event, there was one of their commercial break for Rocket League where they had this entire segment where it was like them interviewing the parents and how like the parents were like getting into it and traveling with their kids to like watch them play on these things. And like, it's just... it's starting to bridge the gap more to the older generations because more of the younger generations are getting into it and doing it. And so I think it's just going to keep going up and up.
Yeah. I think you might be onto something right there.
Yeah, I feel like esports is kind of like a cat to people that don't like cats, usually. When they're like, I don't like a fucking cat. And then like it sits up and curls up on the lap like, all right, I kind of like this cat.
This cat's all right.
Can't believe you just compared esports to cats.
It's just a example.
Just because he's got a cat on his lap right now.
Analogy. It's an analogy. But yeah, now would be the time to build up and make maybe like what we're doing. Start a thing that talks about games a lot.
I was going to bring up G4.
You were or were not?
I was going to, because that was
Sorry, just for the English version. What is G4 like? Was that another gaming channel or
no.
what
So
was it?
G4, it kind of was a gaming channel, but also wasn't. G4 was like an electronic entertainment TV channel or a station
Yeah.
in America, but it kind of died out because various reasons. But it was cool because it would talk about like new technology coming out, or it would have funny shows or silly cartoons or just all kinds of random stuff that was relevant to technological growth or just good entertainment. And just, yes,
It was
a nerd channel.
Essentially just like a channel that curtailed to your stereotypical gamer back then. Like it was just anything like in that genre. Sometimes it was I believe, Goose, correct me if I'm wrong, and Frontal, thank you. I always forget that like we have to explain some of the things because of different differences. But yeah, it was basically a channel that curtailed to gamers and people that were into electronics and your stereotypical types like that, like years ago. And when I say it was in its prime, I think I was in high school, towards the end of high school, so roughly like 10 13 like 14 years ago.
It was cool. Again, didn't last super long, but it was cool while it was up. But then again, it was kind of, it was something that I was into or I had an interest in. So it appealed to me. I don't think it appealed to as many people. I'm pretty sure it would nowadays.
Oh yeah. If
Easy.
it was to that level of greatness, I think it would.
Yes.
It would definitely take off.
So, and to touch on another quick thing pertaining to the size of these events or these esports organization, esport things. What's the word I'm looking for? Events. We'll just call them events.
Don't ask me. I'm terrible with words.
No, you did. In late 2021, there's been a few countries that were announcing esports games that are actually going to be Olympic size. So they're making like an Olympic esports type events, or at least trying to figure out how to organize all that stuff as of late 2021, all over the world.
So do you mean, sorry, just to clarify, do you mean it would be like Team America, where they have different teams for Counter-Strike, different teams for like Valorant, a different team thing, or is it like a generalist team and like how good is this team in this event, but also how good is this same team at Overwatch? How good is the same team at League? Or is it which way is it?
Yeah, I'm assuming it would be.
I said Team America. Yes, I know.
No. Like taking what you're saying and then what like Fluffy said earlier with the whole like Dorito dust and Mountain Dew joke. Like I'm just imagining like and for Team America, and you just see like three like oversized people like carrying Orange Mountain Dew and like a bag of Doritos walking up to an Olympic stage.
I mean, I used to like enter competitive strongman. It's not that different in that scene either. I'll be honest.
That's true.
The fucking
At least to an
person
extent.
interviewing was like, "What's your due for the day?" I'm doing Code Red for today, sir. Gives me that little boost that I need, makes me more aware.
When I'm training for a long time, it's game fuel, but when it's game day, I hit the Code Red.
They get these codes. It's just
Why do we use that voice?
it's just for like Code Red, making a comeback. Code Red.
But then I will say that like the competitive scene, like some of the biggest streamers springboarded from being competitive to like streaming. The big example probably is like XQC, for example. He was a Overwatch professional. When he quit, he sprung off and he's like one of the biggest streamers in the world now.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
didn't
have
Shroud
more
do
than
that too?
that, really. Yeah, Shroud, because he
Shroud
started
did
off.
that too. He did a lot. He was on like Cloud
And
9,
Ninja
wasn't
as
he?
well. Ninja as well. Yeah.
Ninja did PUBG.
I will
Shroud
say-
did CSGO.
I was gonna say Shroud is absolutely ridiculous at games. Like, I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
like
he
his
is.
attitude or anything. Not a big fan of the attitude, but like he earned the right to talk the shit that he's talked because he's just crazy at the games.
Yeah, I mean he's been at that skill
I'm
level
better
for
than you.
fucking years.
I know. We used to watch him play like PUBG a lot, and he would just be running around, just bop. Yeah, and then he's just
Yeah.
casually talking to chat. He's like, and then someone's gonna come around and just go bop. Okay, and then so basically, right?
I mean, with that, should we bring up the 2-timer?
But it's kind of like sad that like at a certain point they go, well, I can make more money not being competitive, you know.
Well, I
Because he
also
was also the
feel
2-time champ of the
2-time champ, 1993, 1994, blockbuster 2-timer.
Is that Doctor Disrespect?
What?
That's Dr. Disrespect.
Oh God.
I've never watched him either.
I've like as much of a dick as he like
He
markets
portrays.
himself to be. I heard he's
Yeah.
actually a nice human being.
He's yeah. I've seen some
Yeah,
stuff. He's actually really nice.
It's definitely
He's a
character
super nice
he
human
puts
being.
on.
Like he plays with people like randomly sometimes. There was one clip that I won't forget that he was playing with someone that was like, "Oh, are you the real Doctor Disrespect?" He's like, "Nah, man, nah. What do you think about him?" And the dude was complimenting the shit out of him. He started crying on stream. I was like, "See, that's nice.
I
You
was
play
gonna say,
yourself
I've
as a
seen
dick, but you're a nice
Yeah.
guy."
a bunch of videos like that where like it wholesomely makes him break character. Like, ha!
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and he's also mentioned that many times that it is a character that he brings. Because,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like many people, especially growing up, probably more closed off because in that age of video gaming, people don't really understand like it's a thing, right? It's like a whole escape type shit. So
Yeah. And I heard he can give frontal for
But,
a run for his money for his height.
he is a similar height to myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Damn.
so you're not the biggest one in the gaming industry now.
Okay, I'm gonna have to double check now. Hang on, 1 second.
Yeah, I think he's like
Hey, competition right here, right now.
he's
I wanna
6'8".
say
He's
6'7".
6'8".
6'8". Yeah.
6'8". Yeah.
Fuck.
What are you, frontal?
I'm
6'7"?
I'm 6'7", man.
He's got you.
Zither.
It's close enough that you wouldn't really tell the difference.
BRB. I need to go see who Tom Cruise buys shoes off.
Oh my god.
Damn, shots fired for no reason.
Poor Tom
Talking about
Cruise and his
gaming
awkward
for
smile.
a half hour and it's just Tom Cruise.
Fuck him.
I'm sorry. I only know 2 short people off the top of my head. That's Tom Cruise and Goose. So.
Wow.
Jeez.
I don't know about you. I've never seen Goose's feet, so I don't know what sort of shoes he wears.
Oh my.
Well, if you you wouldn't see his feet if he was wearing shoes. You'd see his shoes.
That's true.
I mean, I haven't seen those either, though. So
Logic.
They're actually pretty nice shoes.
no matter how many bits I donate, he never puts his feet on stream. What's that?
Stop.
Stop.
Stop it. Don't. You can get a camera for under the desk. No, that's actually a bad idea.
Whoa,
Don't
feet cam.
do-
Oh,
I can think of a few other things and go under that desk.
I'm gonna say it's like let's cut to Roddy. Wait.
No, wait.
We meant
Shh.
you.
Okay, never mind. I thought she was outside my door.
Oh,
Just
well,
kidding.
going back to the esports.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, back to esports.
Back to esports. So, if you have, what games have you watched like
League.
competitively?
Mostly.
You want to try that one more time?
bit of an open question there. What
It
games have
is.
you
It
watched?
is. Well, no, I said like in terms of the esports, like of competitively,
Like, has anybody watched like competitive gaming or?
what
in
pro
particular?
league, what games for pro league have you watched?
League.
Historically, I've watched Counter-Strike, League, Valorant are the ones I've probably paid more attention to.
What about recently? Do you still watch them and pay attention to what's going on in that realm? Recently,
I think it's historically it was Counter-Strike because that was more or less the one that the only big one that was like put forward. Then I watched a lot of League a couple of years back, and more recently the only one I've watched really has been Valorant. But that's because one of my favourite streamers does casts of it as well, so I watch his commentary.
Gotcha.
Well, I also feel like you starting with CS:GO because they're kind of similar. Just Valorant has all the abilities and everything. It is similar game
But yeah,
style.
Valorant is just magical CS:GO.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like a lot of people that started watching CS:GO definitely watches Valorant or even plays it. until
Well, I mean,
CS:GO 2 comes out.
Counter-Strike is similar. It's just like a 5-on-5 objective-based like defense offense.
Oh,
thing.
it's literally exactly the same.
Yeah,
it's
it's
just rather than having a smoke grenade, you have I make an area of shadow using my shadow power. It is a smoke grenade.
But
Yeah, those wizards
for the
from
most part, it's
all
same
those
mechanics
wizards from
and everything.
Hogwarts. Where are they now? They're just characters in Valorant.
Nice.
No, like yeah, it is pretty much like. I mean, I saw some jokes like because CS:GO just had an update and they've added some things in, and people are like, man, CS:GO is just ripping Valorant off now, huh? It's like, this is just non-magical Valorant. What's this about?
Well, I did see one cool thing. Did you see like the updates for CS:GO? They made the smoke like dynamic. So if you pop a smoke and shoot through it, it'll actually like create a hole through it, so you can actually see through the cloud.
Well, and also nading it
That's
will completely
kinda cool.
disperse it.
Yeah. And the smoke will actually dynamically move. Like if you pop it in like a tight area, it'll actually like push itself out in accordance with like the area that it's popped in.
That is pretty nice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yep. They made a whole new CS:GO just to change the dynamics of the smoke, and that's it.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Can
kidding.
I-
It's probably added a lot more to it, but
Hang on, Goose, what you're saying, sorry, Goose?
Can I take over the conversation very slightly?
Sure.
No.
Okay. Apparently, there's a lot of criticisms and legal problems in terms of esports, which
Apparently,
I
wait, what?
There's criticisms and legal problems with some esports. So, like for example, there's a lot of mental health concerns for people who are, well, for that scientists look for in people who are competing in said sports.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, there's a lot of psychological and physical stress because
Yeah.
bad health habits of sitting around and playing a game for extended periods of time, or people who are taking medication and stuff. Apparently, just like in the real Olympics, if you go and do tournaments and stuff, they can technically try to, I think, they can check you for drugs.
Addy. Gotta make sure you're not on that ad.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of them. Reports of widespread use of PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs,
Yeah.
are not uncommon. So
Is
stuff
game
like
fuel?
no, not gamer fuel.
That
No.
actually, I mean,
But they have stuff like
I
Ritalin,
can definitely
Adderall,
see that,
Vyvanse.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I assume energy drinks wouldn't be a thing for that, right? Because it's just an energy drink. Like I don't know.
yeah, I would hope
I mean-
not, because
Right. I wouldn't. It doesn't say anything about that. It just says stuff about the drugs, which is weird because does that mean I could never try to compete? Because I'm technically on Vyvanse for my ADHD? Legally?
I mean, I imagine if you have an actual medical, if you have a medical reason for the medicine, that's a different.
Oh, that's true.
yeah,
Kettle of fish,
I would
then,
assume so,
yeah.
since you're
Okay.
actually prescribed it.
Yeah. Holy crap.
But
Sorry.
but also, I've seen you play. You're not going to be competing anytime soon. It's fine.
Wow.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Frontal out here
Straight
coming
for
for the
the frickin'
necks.
Who
Yeah.
pissed in your
that's frontal.
Weetabix this morning?
Bro, Frontal woke up and said, "I choose hostility today."
That's every day.
I try to choose that every day. Yeah, it's true. It's true. But no, I mean, it's one of those. It's the more interesting thing for me moving forward in esports compared to regular sports, for example, is, and this may be controversial, so be careful how we word things, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Would like normal sports, would there be, for example, like gendered divisions, or is everyone an equal player?
no.
Because there is no physical.
The reason I say no is
don't
because
think
there's
there would
already females that are currently in like esports, so that's why
Yeah.
I feel like
No,
there shouldn't
yeah.
be like
They
any
kick ass, too.
diverse aspect of it. They do. There's quite a few. I'm pretty sure that play League, right? I haven't watched any.
Oh yeah.
League
Yeah.
esports.
I mean,
but I know there are a few that are in that esports league, and they, like you said, they just pop off. There's just no difference.
Like I don't think that there would ever be an actual like different divisions, but I would think that people would like purposely make like this tournament specifically, and I'm only saying that because I actually recently, I forgot, it was I think it was like roughly a month ago, there was a weekend where the RLCS channel wasn't like there wasn't an actual RLCS matches going on, but there was a tournament going on. I think it was down south, and it was specifically, or no, it was literally like the World's Finals. They specifically had a Rocket League women's championship, and it was all female teams. So I don't like it wasn't like they made the division for like why you're saying.
I think with
they
they were all content creators too.
Yeah,
it was all
so
the
like,
women content creators, which I could see that doing like fun games in between when you don't have like actual league games going on.
Like I don't think that there's gonna be a WRLCS or like a WLOL.
Yeah,
I don't think that there'd actually be a division, but they would definitely have like this tournament is specifically for this and so on.
I mean, like I remember historically, like one of the big StarCraft professionals was a female as well. But it's one of those things, like because obviously in conventional sports, there's obviously quite a big gender gap in like pay and viewership, really. So I was wondering if would that as it becomes more of a mass market, and let's say the mass market is more unaware of societal norms going forward, like would that translate across?
I think my question, like when you bring up like the different levels of pay and stuff, is so it definitely is driven off of viewership and crowds that you draw and stuff. Do you think that it's gonna get to the point? So, like obviously, it's not like people want to get really good at football or baseball because they just like playing the sport. But like some people get really good because they want to become professional and get paid a lot of money. With esports, there's such a huge number of. It's not like there's the main 3 games and then there's these other like there's a plethora of games where you can get competitive and get money. But do you think people are specifically going to start targeting getting better at a certain game because professionals that play that game get paid more than other games?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the like if you look at any new game comes out, if they want to be like market themselves as Valorant did it. Valorant's main marketing angle, the reason why it's taken sort of hold so well at the moment, really, is it came out as stylized as a competitive and balanced shooter for competitions. That was its like almost like its marketing slogan was it being balanced for competitive format, and they put pretty much their marketing budget went into hosting tournaments with big prizes to entice professionals away from Counter-Strike and other such games to then compete in this, because they knew that when people were competing on their game, that people will start playing that game because there's more money in it. There's more,
So, like, say you have, a Fluffy who is a god at League of Legends, but then say something crazy happens and payouts for League of Legends drops, and then Rocket League payouts start to increase. Like, would there be a person like who's a god at League of Legends, like Fluffy, that says, "Well, fuck, I guess I'm gonna start trying to get really good at Rocket League now," and then they just like completely switch and try to get really good at a different game solely because it pays out more. Like they might not necessarily enjoy it the most, but they know that they can get really good at it, like how Fluffy is at League of Legends.
I'm not.
If we talk about someone who's a god at League of Legends like Fluffy, then
stop.
What we've got to think here.
I'm not that good.
Stop.
Stop.
I only got Espai just the other night. I'm terrible.
Stop.
I just want to see how many episodes we can plug that in, that Fluffy is a god at League of Legends.
He's just gonna stop showing up. Stop it. Don't do that.
I mean, I think in the modern gaming sort of circus, as it will, is like people tend to play games that their streamers play more, and streamers tend to follow. For the like the bigger streamers tend to follow esports.
I mean, if it's a field that they kind of revolve around, then it would make sense because they built a community around it.
I mean, heck, a lot of them used to work. Take, for example, like Blau, who plays with XQC, plays with Valkyrie, plays with Pokimane, etc.
I love Blau.
Friends. I love Blau as well, but he used to be a developer for League, and and Valorant. He used to work for them.
Right.
He plays a lot of Riot. He used to work for Riot, and he plays a lot of when he's not playing like GTA, RP or whatever. He plays a lot of Valorant. He's the one that was talking about that commentates Valorant, for example. Recently, like all of those, like Pokemon, Ralph Gray, etc., they've all started playing more Valorant recently because there's more money in it for them, like from sponsors, you know.
Yeah.
And sponsorship partnerships with Riot, you know. He used to work for Sony. Then he moved to Riot, and then he became a streamer.
What's also crazy though is like how easily new teams can form. That I think is one of the things that is going to drive esports so much more, because okay, NFL, you have your 32 teams. It's not like some person can just be like, I'm going to get a bunch of dudes together that are pretty athletic and we're going to be an NFL team. Like you can't just start one and then all of a sudden you go to, you know, the championships that year. With any other game, if you're just like, hey, me and my friends are really freaking good at this game, let's go try out. And then you could potentially be in championships that year.
Oh yeah,
and I think
with you
one of
that,
the best examples, I know I keep going back to it, I'm going to keep pointing out, but there's the Cinderella story in Rocket League, and it was a team when they entered, they were called the Peeps, and they still I think they still are a team now, but it was their very first entry, and actually there was a one pro player and content creator, Reddles, who was actually on that team, and when they entered. They were like the 16th seed. They barely made it. They had no sponsors, no coach. So like they were going up on stage, and it's hilarious. And I've watched it back to back because the announcers during their games from the quarter, semi, and then grand finals are just like their whole series. They're in disbelief because they're just like, they're playing so different. It's crazy. They're not like the normal people that play here. But it's just funny seeing like these teams walk up with a coach and they're all wearing like the same uniform that have logos from all different companies, Logitech, Monster, all over it, and then these three kids walk up with just plain t-shirts and they just sweep them. So that I think is one of the hugest driving forces and why esports is going to keep growing so much, is because it's so easy yet difficult. Obviously you have to be really good, but you can just get really good and then get into it. You don't have to be like, well, we're an entire state and we have our own stadium now. Can we be a team?
I'm writing this down. Sorry, I have to get good.
Yeah, get good.
How do you? Is it GET or GIT? And good.
GIT.
Yeah, GIT.
GIT. Okay, good.
Oh, is that what GG means at the end of the game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, that means good game. That means good game.
Nope, get good.
No, it means good.
I'm confused.
I told you this already. God. Idiot.
But yeah, I think Rocket League definitely is the easiest, I guess from what I've seen, to be able to get into, because they do have RLCS qualifiers where anybody can sign up for them, like as long as you can find it. Because actually one of my teammates for my esports team for school is trying to sign up for RLCS qualifiers. So
Does he,
as
like,
long as you can
have
get a team
friends
together,
he's signing up with, or?
yeah, he already has people that he's trying to sign up with. He's just been trying to find pretty much the website to sign up. So like in that aspect, it is kind of like a little bit difficult, but as long as once you can sign up, though, you can compete. I've had another friend that like competed and made it to like day 3 of qualifiers, which I think it's like a
Goose,
full week.
Goose, you, me, and Fluffy training montage. Let's go.
Training montage, the whole Rocky style thing.
Training montage.
And for other games, I feel like it's really dwindles down to just being so good in ranked play, and then those pro players like seeing you, possibly reaching out and be like, or others, that person trying to find a way to actually join the pro league scene, because a lot of them are team based. So if you don't have a team it is kind of hard to really get into that competitive scene.
Well,
There's no I in team, but there is a meet.
there is an I in team
Well, 'cause,
right
like-
in the a-hole.
Yeah.
It actually exists. I'm just throwing that out there, but I can show you guys that later. Not the a-hole, the I. Never mind.
Because it shows what?
Nothing, don't worry about it.
To keep piling on reasons though as to why it's I still think esports is going to get bigger. It's like it's also really easy to semi do what the professionals that you're watching do, right? So like you can be an athletic person and you can watch, MLB or like play like baseball, or sorry, let me try to bridge the pond, cricket. And you can't like get your jollies all rustled from watching professionals play and then just go out to your backyard and have 2 full teams and like play like a professional setting. But
Why not?
I can watch Pro League of Legends or StarCraft or Rocket League and then be like, hell yeah, I want to play that game, and I can just turn it on, and then I'm essentially doing the same thing of the professionals that I'm watching, just not near as good.
Right.
I mean, I come from a cricketing county. I can totally go down the back road to the one on the
Yeah,
fields.
I'm
and
sure
play
your
cricket.
family
What are you
has
talking
the
about?
deed to the cricket field, and they invented cricket, and they're actually the reason why it's called cricket, because they were playing with the cricket when they made it. I don't fucking know.
Because there's no one in the stands while they're playing.
Yeah.
Cricket.
Got him. Rim shot.
Guess I'm just gonna leapfrog off of trail, because reasons why it's just gonna keep getting bigger. And pretty much you can join like any time. I feel like it's not really like age specific. Like obviously it's a lot of younger kids that are like spend years because all they do is school, but they just spend years just constantly playing one game. But it doesn't really define like a specific age, because usually like like Trail brought up baseball, they have like their different little leagues and shit. But like for football, basketball, like if you don't get offers like right out of college, your career is pretty much almost over unless you go overseas and play in like a small league.
Right.
But typically those people that do go into those small leagues generally never make it to like pro league. I mean, I'm not saying that it's impossible for it, but the majority of them will never be able to get out there and reach that next step.
Right.
But I'm going to try and play the counterpoint here, because I think one of us should.
Shocker, it's you.
It's like it's never going to be like, there's something about watching people who've like put their all into like physically training to be like in the fittest, if you watch the Olympics, these people are as close to Captain America as they're ever going to fucking be.
Oh yeah.
You're talking like peak human performance here. Whereas when you're saying like, but like like the 12-year-old kid down the street, he could kick my ass in this game and become a world champion. It's like, but do people want to watch like a snotty 12-year-old beat? I was like, I hate that kid.
Yeah. I mean,
I think we've moved
agree
on a
with
little
you.
bit from the COD MW2 day. OG MW2 COD lobbies.
Like, I think it's going to grow. I think it's going to get a hell of a lot bigger. I don't think it's going to reach, NFL Super Bowl level. But I do think that it's going to get its share of primetime television eventually.
Television.
Not like as large as the majors in, I'll say, physical sports instead of esports. But I do think it's going to get much larger than what it is now. I think that's almost, I think one of the things that makes it better is also one of the reasons why I would agree with you that it's not going to ever get big, because the fact that there is so many games and so many different platforms
it's so
and so many different
diverse.
things, it's so diverse that there really isn't, unless it's going to take one game to just completely outshine it, and you're going to have to find the game that bridges the gap between gamers and non-gamers. And that's like the only way that it's going to really get larger, for one specific game to reach that like super high level. But since there is so many, there isn't just one that's gonna grow and just completely overtake everything. Like how NFL, there really isn't, there's no other
NFL. Like there's lower leagues, but there's none that are at the same level that are trying to also compete with. Then like the only other examples would be baseball and other sports. Like it's there isn't, you know, a whole bunch of NFLs and a whole bunch of MLBs that all have competitions that are, you know, quote unquote worlds or championships, so on. But
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
if you counter argument that and say like realistically, it's not going to like take over until like example. I think what they need is like some consolidated governing bodies. You know, like regular sports have.
Right.
Is like this is the governing body in charge of like Valorant. This is the governing body in charge of Rocket League, for example.
Right.
And then like potentially you'd start seeing like geographic divides. Like for example, certain regular sports are more popular in other countries than America, for example. Like cricket is worldwide, mostly Australia and India.
Right.
Like would we start seeing geographical divides in that, like, you know, if you want to be a serious Rocket League player, you have to be in America. If you want to be a serious Counter-Strike player, you have to be in mainland Europe.
Which that kind of has happened with Rocket League because like Rocket League does have just like the main RLCS that covers over it. I'm not sure which
covers
company
everything
or who actually started it, but they do have the geographical stuff, and they're actually already having instances where it's like that, where they've had people. What was it? It was for the Worlds. There was a team from the Middle East region that made it to the semifinals, and that was the first time a team from that region has ever made it that far. And literally, once that season ended last year, they moved to America. I think it's Furia, the team. Yeah, they came
there are a few that get bought out like through America. There's a few.
So you're already starting to almost actually see those things that you're saying now, where a team is like, "Yep, I want to get better. We're moving to America." Or also, who was it? Wow, I just watched a series with him, and there was a team. Oh yeah, apparently Jack and a couple other people that were on a European team.
Jack.
But then they moved to America and formed an American team.
You're talking about Genji?
You're already Genji. So you already have these people. Yeah, Chronic now. Yeah, you already have these people moving regions specifically for the esport that they play. Like people like picking up their entire life and moving to a different country just for an esport. And that's why I think it's like esports it's starting to touch that level where it's getting higher. And so now is the time, if you cannot play games professionally, to make a thing like G4 was in its prime. To capture that lightning in a bottle. And kind of have a thing that talks about all of them in general and not just one.
And to go back to
a banking proposal, banks. If you're interested in investing in our channel, just
hey, I would, if there was somehow a bunch of money invested into it, I would drop fucking everything and put everything into that.
Into what? Recreating G4
in its prime. I'm gonna keep making sure that I say that.
Oh, in its prime. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
I mean, if you could bring back the prime of what it was now, it would explode.
Oh,
no
dude.
question.
And that was why I was so happy when I heard that they were trying to like boot it back up, and then it just completely nosedived.
Yeah.
That's the thing recently is I'm kind of like jumping from esports, but like with that whole same topic of people that, you know, talk about it, you hear a lot recently where like game journalists and stuff, they don't actually like games, but they know that if they make a story about games that it'll be read a lot. And so it's like, why are you writing about a thing? You're just trying to bandwagon jump, go back to whatever the hell you like. Don't talk about games.
I feel like it's still in that stage of becoming big too, because there is still a lot of people who feel like esports is not a real sport. But if you really think about it, you have chess, which is a sport, and it's all a mental sport, and that's essentially what esports boils down to, because there's a lot of strategy and tactics that go into it that a lot of people don't really like know or understand, that it's not just physical like for sports. You know, even in football, you have every single, you know, you have your playbook and all that shit. You have your strategy that goes into it. I feel like that's the disconnect that they see, like, oh, you have to have the physical aspect too for it to be an actual sport, when really you only need. I say that just because of chess, but you need the mental strategy for it.
I mean, I would say that the people who have that opinion probably also don't think chess is a sport, but
I mean,
probably
quite
don't.
possibly, but it's chess is actually an international sport, though. You have your grandmasters and you have your international masters.
Yeah, but then someone brings along some anal beads and it gets to be a big
Okay.
thing. And then
Come on.
Whoa!
Are you?
Well, are you not familiar with that? Well, like the last time chess was like big in the thing was there was a guy wearing a remote control,
Oh yeah, no,
toy,
I remember that.
which was giving him commands from an AI that was
Commands for
making
moves.
moves for him.
Yeah, it was like vibrating and telling him which
That's
which
crazy.
piece to move to where. It was like so weird. I do remember that story
And
now.
then after that news broke, like chess was just never in the press ever again. So it was like,
Well,
remember that time? Oh no, let's not talk about it. No.
stories can't get better than that, so we might as well just drop it.
I will say chess.com though has kind of started making it like as a little comeback because like even XQC he's been hopping on that chess bandwagon too.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen there's one big streamer that makes a big thing out of being a competitive chess streamer. To be fair,
Levy.
but,
Gotham Chess and Hikaru Magnus, definitely the top
Look at this man. He knows
that I
everything.
know.
but no, like it's one of those. It's I think it's one of those interesting sort of things that streamers help promote whatever's going to be the next big esport, effectively.
Yeah,
But at the same time, like becoming a streamer is an exit for a lot of the big pro gamers.
Yeah,
It's like they become streamers, then never compete properly again.
makes sense.
It's like kind of cannibalizing itself a little bit.
Maybe.
It's a weird dichotomy.
Yeah,
it is.
I
It
guess
is
we'll
kind
just
of
have to
weird.
see what happens in the long run.
You do have a lot of like pro players, like you're just kind of done. Like Shroud, he still hops from game to game. You have a lot of like Rocket League players who actually some of them surprisingly are kind of getting back into it. But,
Stream or professional type stuff.
No, the pro scene. So apparently, I don't know if like actual playing, but Rizzo is one of like a big streamer for Rocket League that was in pro scene, which he's been debating about going back in. I don't know as a player or as a coach, but you have a lot of like players that end up becoming coaches and instead of just getting out of pro scene entirely. So
So I just have one question.
All right,
Yeah.
final
Fluffy,
question.
Fluffy, when are we gonna see you on the pro scene of League of Legends?
I'm not ever gonna be that good. I'm sorry.
when are we gonna see you on the
Now
pro
that
scene
attitude.
of Rainbow Six Siege?
Sorry.
I can show you some clips if you really want.
I would actually enjoy that.
Okay.
Links in the bio.
I would too. I would
Links
too,
in the bio.
being someone who
I can go
grinded that
find
game
some
for 4 years straight.
I can try and find some. They're not going to be very impressive. I can tell you that, but I can find some.
Oh,
Were they all back on
You're so
Xbox?
Yeah.
Wouldn't blame you. The majority of my clips are on PS4, like a fat majority.
A fat majority. Sorry.
Yeah, fat
Some
majority. Because
reason
I
that
only
one got
have
me.
like maybe one or two
Yeah.
on PC because PC to console
it's-
makes a huge difference, especially for Siege.
Yeah.
Which is
very
kind of
much
why
so.
it's falling off so hard.
Does anybody else got anything else to add to
Yeah.
esports stuff?
On the other end of the spectrum, if anyone wants to see someone miss the ball for like 2 games straight and not hit the ball once, check them out. My clips,
See,
Rocket
maybe
League,
that's
yeah.
maybe that's maybe that's something we can start. Maybe we can do like the anti-leagues or the anti-professional. So like the newbie leagues.
Yeah, if it was a competitive mode for just playing Rocket League
Subdivision
dodgeball, like enemy
leagues.
team knowing.
So nothing else from anybody?
No, I'm good.
Nope.
Okay.
Thinking, I know.
I just know we're pushing it a little bit, and Senior Frontal has to work soon. So with that, should we try to come up with a title?
Yes.
Okay.
The
You got
boys
one?
Talk esports.
The boys
Did you
talk
say Bobby?
esports.
Oh,
The boys
Are
talk
you a real
esports.
pro, bro?
Are you a real pro? Widowy?
Title.
Title. My title's really short. Title. Never mind.
Excuse me?
What?
Huh, what?
What?
You got a short title over there, my guy?
Yeah.
Big mouth, tall body, small title?
Esport future bright or bust?
What the hell?
Esport future,
Bright.
comma, bright or bust?
Oh, I see. I see what you're going for now.
I mean, how about just
Where's it going?
as a pose a question, like, is the future bright for esports? Question mark.
Question mark, exclamation point.
Frontal's version got a much more happy from Goose. So let's go.
It did.
I mean, it's a group
Face
decision.
emoji.
Mine required thought and a questionable So we should go with that one.
I was just confused with the word bust.
From now on,
Bust.
I mean, you're confused by it?
Bust.
We're not talking about the anime bust, all right?
We're not talking about Goose's pickle.
Hey!
Just
Why not?
calling back to an episode I wasn't part of and I listened to.
Oh, about how confused my pickle was?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember. Good stuff.
Did it tickle your pickle?
No, it's still confused.
How about when is Fluffy
Esports,
going
comma,
pro?
pickle tickler or nah?
Pickle tickler.
No, somebody just said one
Ping
recently
pong.
that I
Ping pong, the real esport.
Does esports tickle
Fluffy,
your
why
pickle?
do you always get me when I'm drinking my fucking coffee? God damn it. Fluffy has a camera in my room. I don't know where.
Fuck, he's on
Turn your
this.
webcam off.
I think literally the last time you did it was the same as this one. It was the last gulp I was trying to take, so I took like the majority of it. God damn it. All right. I'm good.
Frontal, what was the one you said that apparently had a happy about?
Is the future bright for esports?
That sounds like it could be clickbaity, but also very informative.
It's literally the theme of the episode, more or less. To be fair,
That's
Yeah,
true.
pretty much.
He's not wrong.
I mean, I kind of like that
It's
one.
Not
on
wrong.
topic.
Wait,
I don't think it's clickbaity
Widowy.
when it actually is the. I don't think it's clickbaity when it is the content of the article.
Clickbaiting would be like,
not wrong.
is esports going to
Widowy,
die?
Getting the gwitty on the content.
Esports is dead. Listen to find out why.
Esports is dead. Or is it?
No, I kind of like that. I like Frontal's title, but nobody else is saying anything about
Sounds
it.
like pretty solid. Sounds pretty solid. I'm Gucci
Okay,
with it.
that's 2 out of 5.
Do you
2 out
think,
of 5.
Do you think it's solid? I think it's solid.
I like it.
All right, cool.
Hate it.
Frontal wins.
I hate it.
Just Frontal's redacting, I guess.
Right then. So as usual, guys, it's that usual sort of like general shout out of like, if you want to see more, if you want to talk to us about like your own experience with esports, what esports teams you follow, like who should we check out, who's going to be next big upcoming ones.
Me.
If you want to leave some comments, we will definitely like check them out, have a look through. We do love getting comments. We do love getting feedback for you guys. It does mean the world to us, and it keeps us motivated to keep going. So if you would like to like and comment wherever you watch this content, we would genuinely appreciate it.
Also, keep an eye out on other platforms because we are growing and advancing. It's going to be great. You'll find out.
Like you make it sound like some sort of military expansion. Like we are growing and we are advancing on the western front.
That's exactly what I mean.
We're conquering.
But I think
are.
where we are with that is I'm going to say goodbye from me, Frontal.
Goodbye from me,
Goodbye
Goose.
from
Someone
me,
else want to pick up
Fluffy?
And from me, Trail?
And for me, Sideways.
I know doses.
And now Gooses?
And
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Love you.